How do I determine the rate of change of measurements in a SPARKvue graph using a linear fit? How fast was the typical cooling rate for this cup of coffee versus this one in this center time here? So let me say I have the purple measurement active. That means if I go to the graph tools, I can turn on a tool that will allow me to analyze a rate of change through the form of a linear fit. So with the purple measurement active, I'll turn on the linear fit tool, and this does its best to do a best linear regression to the purple measurement's entire run. Well, that's not quite what I want. It is trying to fit the data here, here, and here. What I actually want is to analyze what's a representative slope during this 1 minute to 3.5 minute time period. So this brings up a very important distinction here. My cursor by default is a mover of the graph. It pans it around. I can change the behavior of my cursor though by going to this second button, which is actually a toggle. And if I hover over it, the tooltip tells me this is a toggle between move mode, which is on by default, and select mode, which is what I'm looking for. So with select mode on, I can now go in the graph, and if I click and drag, I no longer move the graph, but instead I draw a selection box. And notice what happens as that selection box begins to surround or include some data points from the purple measurement. Notice the linear fit is updating so that it is now analyzing only those data points that are inside the box highlighted in yellow. And I can adjust the size of the box, the location of the box after the fact, and that linear fit will always update to reflect that. So what have I discovered? Well, it looks like the slope here, that's fairly linear, probably not precisely linear, but a representative slope is about negative 0.937, so about almost negative 1 degree Celsius per minute, since my y-axis unit is degrees Celsius and the x-axis unit is minutes. So let me switch and make the green measurement active. I'm going to do the same thing, make sure my select mode is on. Now I could start with the linear fit, or I can flip things again. I could start with the selection. I'll draw that selection box, and it pops open some tools that I could use, including a linear fit. And here I can see that indeed the cooling rate for the coffee that was black in the car versus the one that had cream added already was a little over 2.5 times greater.